if you feel uncomfortable, like, you should do it, because one, it'll help you grow. Two, like, you know, you might actually make something happen.
Welcome, everybody, to Nashville Drummers Podcast, episode 13.
Today, we're super excited to welcome to the podcast Landon Hall, who is the founder of the Music City Drum Show, which is just in a few weeks, July 9th and July 10th.
Landon surprised us when he came in, and he had made a promo code for our listeners. So you just go to musiccitydrumshow.com and you put in the promo code NDP, Nashville Drummers Podcast. That's, I think they call that an acronym, ladies and gentlemen. And you get 10% off tickets, which is quite generous. It was great to hear Landon talk a little bit about being a self-starter. He didn't explicitly state that, but the facts speak for themselves. He just saw the vacuum that exists here in town of a drum show, and he just went to work in creating one, which is something that I've talked about on this podcast before. I've mentioned it quite a few times, I think, at this point. But I really appreciate seeing people not wait until they're quote-unquote ready, until they've really educated themselves about the thing. It's like, if you want to be an author, start writing. Start writing today. Don't wait until you're ready. Just do the thing. And he's embodying that.
Yeah, it was great to also learn, aside from the drum show, his own personal background as a drummer. We go into some cool road stories and his time with Desmond Child. So it was great to meet and talk to Landon. Again, if you haven't purchased your tickets for the Music City Drum Show, that's July 9th and July 10th. And you can enter the promo code NDP, all lowercase, for 10% off.
We hope you enjoyed this interview with Landon and hope to see you at the show.
I'm on the west side, like Westmead, Bellevue area.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
What about you guys?
I'm over in East.
Okay, nice.
I was over in like Westmead for a while, about a year, and I just moved to Hermitage, actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, which I love. We just bought a house out there, and it's the best. It's freaking.
I love that area.
I didn't realize before I got out there that there's like a whole Hermitage thing. People who were out there, like, when I was buying, someone said, "Oh, those Hermitage people really love Hermitage." I'm like, "Yeah, what do you mean? Shouldn't you should love where you live, right?" And then I got there, and all my neighbors were like, "Oh, you're gonna love it here." And if they weren't so awesome, it would have been Stepford-y, but it was awesome. They're all super rad people. Like, "Hey, we're gonna do a neighborhood barbecue and all this." It was super
awesome.
Inviting, and made me feel well at home. Do you feel at home in Belmead?
I've lived so many different places around Nashville, but I do like that area a lot.
Nice.
I think long-term, it would either be that side or Hermitage, Mount Juliet area, just because there's a lot of stuff over there as well. Have you ever had Culver's out there?
No.
Didn't they just get a Whataburger too?
They did.
So, yeah.
Okay. And then, so I think there's a Culver's. I haven't been to that location. I think it's in Mount Juliet. It's, I like it better than Whataburger. I mean, Whataburger is good, In-N-Out's good, but I think
You're
Culver's...
not offending me by not preferring Whataburger. I'll just say that. Now, I am a huge In-N-Out fan. I'm from California.
Oh, really? Nice.
So In-N-Out for me is a very special thing. And I actually did an A-B comparison with Whataburger.
Nice.
And we'll just say In-N-Out was the reigning champ.
There you go.
But to each their own. I need to try Culver's, though.
It's good.
I've actually
it's like
never
the
had
Midwest In-N-Out.
Yeah, I've only had the dessert there, not...
Yeah, they got great custards, like ice cream and all that. Yeah, the burgers are amazing. Fries. They have cheese curds.
So are you originally from the Midwest then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, Overland Park, Kansas City area.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yep.
He's our first Kansas guest, right?
I think so.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. Unless somebody's been lying to us. Possibly.
Probably Jeff.
Jed.
Probably Jeff. No.
Oh, yeah.
Jed, yeah.
Whatever, one of those J's.
Yeah.
Can't trust him.
Yeah, that's where I grew up in the Kansas City area, but also lived in New Hampshire my junior year of high school.
Oh, okay.
And for my dad's job, he had an opportunity to like transfer up there for his job, and so we were like, "Yeah, let's do it." So I went to 3 different high schools out of 4 years in 3 different states. So
Holy moly.
then we moved back to the Midwest, like in Missouri area, Springfield, Missouri area, and had my senior year there, and then. Yeah, my family is basically still there in Missouri and Kansas and stuff, but and then I moved to Nashville in 2015.
Okay, yeah, that was my next question. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And all those places besides here, well, I'm going to assume you like it best here. Do you like it best here? I won't make that assumption.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. That's right. That's usually people stay in the place they like the most.
Yeah.
Aside from here, where did you enjoy living the most, even though all those stints were pretty brief?
I mean, Overland Park is a good like family-friendly area.
Yeah.
I mean, out of all the places though, I mean, I used to live in LA too for a couple of years. I enjoyed it out there. I enjoyed visiting and stuff. I think it's a great place to visit. I kind of got burnt out after living there.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Right now, Nashville is like my favorite. It's more. I mean, it's Music City. It's all fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just central to everything. So I like it a lot.
Couldn't agree more, man.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I don't live in LA, even though I grew up in California.
Oh yeah, where'd you grow up at?
Opposite end, so Redding. It's like
Yeah. I know where Redding's at.
Yeah. So when I moved out here, I had a whole bunch of people ask me like, "Well, dude, why didn't you move to LA? Like, it's so much closer." I'm like, "Have you been there?"
Yeah,
I've been there, so I know I don't want to live there. It's like you said, it is a great place to visit. There's so much going on. Some of the best music on the planet and musicians, but it's also just toxic air and
Right.
water. Like
his tongue right now.
you can't drink the water. I'm like, oh, dude, what is this place?
yeah, the traffic.
Oh my God.
I had lived in Nashville before I moved out to LA, so when you have a little taste of Nashville, I was kind of burnt out after a couple weeks in LA.
Yeah.
I was like, oh dang, like just to get somewhere that's like 3 miles away, it's like 2 hours in traffic.
It's
And
nuts. So how long were you in LA before coming back?
2.5 years.
Okay.
Yeah, about 3 years. I had moved to Nashville for music. I was playing with a couple groups, and then the producer Desmond moved me and my band out to LA, and we were out there for a few years. And then the lead singer was also pursuing acting, and we kind of split. And he pursued acting, and I was like, I'm going to move back to Nashville, and because I like it better, and to kind of continue to work with Desmond. But yeah, I was kind of burnt out after a couple of weeks. I was like, man, like I miss Nashville, like after living. And then like when I came back, Nashville, it's growing like every day, but the traffic's getting worse. But I'm still like, this is still nothing compared to LA. Like,
still child's
I was
play,
like, this is awesome. Like I will take this.
Yeah, a mile. If there's an accident, could take 15 minutes, but a mile will take you above 25. Like no accidents, nothing in LA. Like that's just how it is.
Right.
But that's brutal. You knew within 2 weeks that you were burnt out.
And
you know, it's 2.5 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's like when you're in the South, like Southern hospitality, so. It's a different culture out there. It's a hustle and bustle. So I was like, oh, dang, some of these people aren't, I think I picked up a little road rage when I was out there.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
Well, maybe that's where I get it.
I think it's normal. Yeah. I think I feel like I can drive anywhere now after driving in LA.
No.
Like,
Yeah.
Why don't we start? I mean, you're wearing the Music City Drum Show. Obviously, that's your main thing here with the show coming up in a few weeks.
Yeah.
Why don't you talk to us about the dates for this year? Who's what people can expect, clinicians, who's exhibiting, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So this year, the dates are July 9th and 10th, Saturday and Sunday. We got Troy Laketta from Tesla Band. He's doing a clinic on Saturday, July 9th. And then Keo Stroud from Big and Rich is doing a clinic on Sunday. And
cool.
There'll be lots of door prizes, special guest appearances. Yeah.
So it's a 2-day event this year, right? Because I went last year. And I definitely want to get into the history and how you started a drum show in the first place.
Yeah.
So people can buy 1-day tickets or 2-day tickets. How does that work?
Yeah. So it was 1-day event last year. This year we bumped it to a 2-day event. We got a lot of feedback from vendors and attendees that were like, it'd be cool, do a 2-day event, kind of be more worthwhile. And there really is a sweet spot for just events in general. Like, you don't want to have it too long because like hotels can get expensive for people. And then you don't want to have it too short where it's like, everyone's packing up drums and equipment just for 1 day. So you just got to make it a little like worthwhile. But so yeah, we have 2-day passes available. And yeah, you can buy a Saturday ticket or Sunday only ticket. So you can get them online on our website, musiccitydrumshow.com. Or you can get them at the door.
Dig it.
Yeah.
Dude, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna come check it out then. That sounds like a fun time.
I'm kicking myself. I'm gonna be in a wedding in Montreal. Literally the best man too, so I can't get.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, hey,
I'm coming back Sunday, so I can maybe catch like past that in the last hour. But
there you go. Yeah.
I'm super bummed, but.
Yeah, you never know, man. It's every year, like with tour dates, it's so hard to pick the dates. I think like last year we did early August, and then with the venue schedule and stuff, it was like those are the best dates that they had available. But I think next year we'll probably shoot for like late July or early August and kind of switch it up every weekend. Like some events, they always do like the third weekend of a month or something. We'll probably switch it up just because, people have family members that have birthdays that are like, it'll always like the end of the month or something or beginning. So just, and you never know with tour dates. So, can't hit them all.
Never perfect.
You can't. Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're hurting cats in this business no matter what. You're right.
Yeah. So maybe just give us some background on how the event got started, because it was going to be 2019, right?
Right.
And COVID probably threw a wrench in all those plans.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I had originally launched it in early 2019, and it was set to be for August of 2020. Yeah, I had a decent like momentum going all the way up till when COVID hit, and then I had to postpone, so we just pushed it to August 2021. I'd been to a few drum shows around the nation and stuff, and I've like exhibited and stuff. I was like, why isn't there one in Nashville? And I did research. There was a few like, like 10 or 20 years ago. And I was like, well, why isn't there one now? I was like, oh, well, you got Summer NAMM.
Right.
And so I was like, oh, maybe that's why. So after I went to Summer NAMM,
you're like, where are all the drum companies?
Yeah, there was like only 3 drum brands.
It used to not be that way.
Right. But yeah, they all go to the one in Anaheim. That's like the big one. So after going to that, and there's only like 3 drum brands, I was like, dang, well, maybe I can do this. And then early 2019 just came up with a name, launched the site, drew out a logo, and had a graphic designer make it. And then had to get a venue and just book the dates and stuff. So just kind of went for it. But I did a lot of research because we're just planning the event. Like you don't want to like have too many conflicts with other drum trade show events or just music events. So
especially in the city.
Yeah. So just trying to find a sweet spot.
Do you have a history with setting up things like this in the past, or was this kind of a one-off for you?
It's kind of a one-off. Like, I mean,
yeah, I was hoping you'd say that.
I don't really, not really.
I guess creating a drum show from scratch is what it sounds like. Doesn't seem like that's no small feat.
Right.
I used to work for Percussive Art Society in Indianapolis. Have you been to the PASIC show?
Yeah.
So, and I was an intern. I worked there full time, so I know firsthand, maybe more than most, like logistics with a capital L. Like that's probably so much of what you're dealing with.
Yeah.
But still.
Yeah. When I started it, I was like, man, it's a huge project, and I was like, well, I'm just gonna go for it and just try to market the crap out of it. And
so walk us through kind of maybe some of those steps in particular. Obviously you have the idea, you're in Nashville, I'm sure you talk to some friends like, yeah, sure, a drum show in Music City, that sounds awesome. You have the logo. How do you go from a logo to you're booking a space and dates and selling tickets and setting up a website, all the steps that are needed
all the steps
to make it happen?
Man, it was like my first time throwing a big event, so I was kind of just trying to I just had to do a lot of research to kind of figure out the timing of it and seeing if it made sense too. Like I didn't want to like, go out and lose any money because I'm funding the whole thing.
Right.
My goal was just like, I just want to break even. That way, worst case scenario, we'll all just, have a good time and get the drumming community together. But yeah, I think, what did I do first? I mean, I was coming up with names. I had thought of a few different names. The one in the past was called Nashville Drum Show. And so, that domain name wasn't available and it was already taken. I was like, I don't want to step on any toes because that was like 10 years ago, I think 2011 or 2012. So I was like, well, I'll just, call it what it is. Like, Nashville's Music City. So I started out with that. Had other names, but I was like, I think that I should just call it what it is instead of come up with another name. So, got the domain name, the website, and then, the logo. Did research on venues, and then just figuring out when to have the event. Yeah, just kind of putting up all the funding and everything up front. It's kind of a risk, but I was like, I know it's, if I can just get the word out, it'd be really cool.
As you're saying this, I'm just wondering, like, do you have like a kind of fire that was kind of driving your whole process? I need to do this for the community, for the drummers, for the industry. Like, what was it that was kind of pushing you to do it?
Yeah, it was for the drumming community, especially Nashville. I mean, after going to Summer NAMM and they're not, seeing only like 3 brands, I was like, there's so many drum brands that are based here in Nashville, like Meinl and Pearl and Innovative. But I was like, yeah, I mean, they're right here in our backyard. So after I had launched it, the drive was just to call and email, just, nonstop. So I just reached out to brands and try to get interest. I think guys were skeptical at first because it was like, who's doing this?
Right.
Like, is this legit? And, but yeah, once it kind of got a few brands, the snowball kind of, effect.
Well, do you remember the first brand that signed on?
Yeah, it was Firehouse Drums.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Very cool. Wow. I remember those guys.
Yeah. Yep.
I forget where they're based out of.
I want to say it's like Indiana or Illinois or something like that. Yeah.
My favorite part about this whole thing is that the common thread between a lot of the people that we've had on here is they've just kind of started a thing because they wanted to start. They didn't like wait till they were ready. I don't believe in waiting till you're ready to do something. Like, well, let me go out and figure. Like, you did research along the way, but as soon as you figured out that a show wasn't occurring out here like that, you just kind of filled a void that existed. You just went to work on it right away.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to be an author, just start writing, that kind of thing. I'm that's huge fan of that. So well done.
I don't know if you've seen that quote. I'll probably butcher it. I don't know how. It's like, if you feel uncomfortable, like, you should do it because one, it'll help you grow. 2, like, you might actually, make something happen. It can be uncomfortable to try to, take on a risk, but yeah.
Honestly, like, there's a huge portion of the time that we should just lean into that discomfort, and just do the thing, whatever that is. I mean, obviously there are healthy things to do. Don't lean into something that's unhealthy. Don't hear me saying that, please, for the love. But yeah, you know what I'm saying. Doing something that is good and well intended and well thought out, but just doing the thing, whatever that thing is that means something to you, and doing it right away.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, especially like, if it means a lot to you, or if you have like a huge passion for something, like, it doesn't even feel like work because you enjoy doing it, and it may take a ton of your hours, of your day, but it's like, I enjoy doing it. It doesn't, doesn't feel like work. So
yeah.
That's how we feel about this podcast. It's a lot of work, a lot of time.
I bet.
But it's a passion project, and similar to the show, just bringing the community together. And there's obviously other podcasts in Nashville or just based around drumming, but we kind of wanted to tell more stories of the working class drummers and people that maybe weren't already on other podcasts.
Yeah, no, this is great. This is really cool what you guys are doing. What episode is this?
Is this 13?
I think it'll be 13.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I remember, it's funny, I'm pretty close with...
Our podcast is a teenager.
Yeah, jeez. You know what that means?
Oh, great.
It's gonna start dating.
Yeah. It's going to
Watch out, drum click.
sleeping all day,
Working drum. Yeah.
sneaking out the window.
Well, I was gonna mention I'm pretty close with Matt Krause, and it was actually at the Music City Drum Show last year because he had a booth. And I think at that point we had the idea for it, and we were toying with different names. And kind of similar to your thinking, like we ended up just on something that's simple, like Nashville. Like, call it what it is. It's already marketable.
Yeah.
I remember just talking. Matt's been a really close friend and a good mentor about the whole podcast and everything.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, I saw a lot of the podcasts are going to be exhibiting this year,
Yes.
which is awesome.
Yeah, we got it. We got some podcasts.
We'll have to have some presence there. Maybe maybe you can make it out. But
Yeah, I'd like to make that happen.
Yeah.
Assuming I'm still here.
Right.
Yeah, you never know. Right now,
you never know. Yeah.
a lot of. I mean,
A lot of moving plates.
yeah. Without getting too into it and
Yeah.
derailing too far, but I just some crazy. My in-laws' house just burned down
Oh,
Back in
like this week.
dang. Oh, dude,
Yeah,
I am so sorry.
It's,
Dang.
I mean, it's okay.
luckily everyone's all right.
Everyone's okay except Dad's got some burns on his arms and a few on his face, but he's okay. Everything else, everyone else is
Oh,
fine.
my
They just, but
goodness.
house is a total loss. Flew my wife out Wednesday morning. That's right.
Man.
Yeah,
She's
but
still there.
assume yeah, she's there right now. But I'm like, well, I assume I'll still be here. I don't know. You never
You
know.
never know. Yeah, that's life.
Yeah.
Dang, man, that's intense, man. That's awful.
But it's also just life.
Right.
Weird stuff like that occurs. But anyway, that's a total aside.
Dang, man.
So
Yeah,
you
got your
mentioned
hands full.
that you were traveling. What other drum shows have you been to? Assuming like Pasig, NAMM, Chicago drum show.
Yep,
Some of
Chicago.
those other local city ones.
Yeah, Chicago, St. Louis, SoCal drum show. They used to have one. I don't know if they're still going. I haven't been to the one in Hollywood. They have a Hollywood drum show.
So
Pretty
SoCal
old,
Drum
yeah.
Show. Did you ever encounter SoCal Drums? That company?
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I just wondered.
Yeah.
Those are some friends of mine.
Yeah.
I wondered if you'd ever worked with them at all.
I haven't worked with them, but I think I think they were at the SoCal drum show when I was there. Yeah,
It would be a huge miss if they weren't. Yeah.
Yeah.
wondered.
So I do, and they're not really affiliated with the guy that put on the show, but yeah, it was cool. It was a cool event.
So as you're going to these different shows, were you kind of making mental notes of maybe what you didn't like about shows, things that did work?
Yes,
Like
definitely.
how did that affect you creating your own show here in Nashville?
Yeah, it was a good learning thing to learn all the do's and don'ts and to kind of pick up what I liked. Yeah, that was part of it too, just with doing a lot of research, even checking out all their websites, see how it's laid out. And then, I was just trying to make a website where it's like you're not having to navigate through like an airport or something. It's just more like,
Yeah, all the info is right there.
yeah, just make it. Yeah. It was good to kind of learn all the do's and don'ts.
You did all these entrepreneurial tasks on your own. Like I know you said you hired out for the logo, but you built the website. What about like all the marketing and like you got the T-shirt on, the hat, all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff? Do you have partners now, or is that still mostly just you?
I do all the marketing.
Yeah.
I kind of just took everything
You gotta hire
on.
this guy.
I'm not that great. I'm still learning, but it's funny. Whenever I was like reaching out to a ton of brands at first, I ran into JC. I don't know if you guys know JC.
I was gonna ask about
Yeah.
that relationship too.
Yeah, so with JC, I met him through email.
Mhm.
And he was like on the contact us page or something. He's like, hey, who's doing this? Like, it's so cool. So glad to see Nashville doing a drum show again. And he's like, yeah, email me or call me. So I talked with him and he was excited about it and wanted to be involved. And I was like, yeah, man, like I'm down. Plus, he kind of like ran the MC thing. I don't really have a strong enough voice as him. So I was like, yeah, you can handle.
And what's his like background? Where does he come from?
He's from Pennsylvania.
Okay.
He was affiliated with Drumsticks,
Okay.
and I was reaching out to Drumsticks, and he had seen an email or newsletter, about the drum show, and then was wanting to get involved. But yeah, he's in Pennsylvania. Yeah, so it's kind of it's been great having him assist even at the drum show. emceeing and all that, just because there's a lot, and I've got most of my family and friends and that just kind of help out, because it takes a few hands
Yeah,
at the show.
Yeah, it has to.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask some more just playing related questions. I'm
sure.
I'm happy to talk about the event and all the cool entrepreneurial stuff. I love that, but I want to get into the how and why you got into the playing thing.
Yeah, at a young age, I always was fascinated with the drums.
Mm-hmm.
Even like at 3 years old, banging on pots and pans. But I didn't get my first drum kit till my 9th birthday, and
Which kit was that?
It was a Tama like starter kit.
Yeah.
Nice.
And so I got my first kit for my 9th birthday.
Pause.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone else can relate to this, but I always hope that someone says it was a Pearl Forum, because that was my first one. That was my first kit, and I'm like, for some reason, I want other people's first kits to have been that. I didn't actually consciously realize that until this exact moment.
A lot of people's kits are the Pearl exports.
Yeah, that was my second kit.
Oh, yeah,
was
that's
an
right.
export.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, when I went from a Forum, it was super beaten up, all these broken heads and stuff, and then an export. Sorry, I had to.
No, yeah,
I had to just press
definitely.
pause for 2 seconds because I just had this self-realization. Like, man, it'd be cool to find someone else that had Pearl Forum as their
He has
first
like a
kit.
spreadsheet on his computer. Like
There you go.
every drummer's first.
What was your
drum
first kit?
I remember like my very, very first 3-4 piece plastic drums. I think it was a CB wine red, which Pearl actually manufactured, I believe. Early Pearl, they actually made other people's kits.
Oh, they made CBs?
Yeah.
Oh, you remember what CB stands for?
No, I don't remember.
Yeah, it stands for crappy best.
Yeah, you told me that once.
If you put enough tape on those bad boys, they sound decent.
Weren't those like sticks too, or that was something else?
I don't.
That came up once
They might have
before.
had sticks.
Yeah.
What about Back Bay?
That's what it was. Yeah.
You ever play Back Bay? Man, they're just junk, cheap, like Home Depot level drumsticks.
Oh wow! No, I haven't played those.
But no, my first actual kit was a Gretsch. It was a Catalina birch kit.
Oh, nice.
Still red, and now I kept the red, of course.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Yeah, it's a nice kit.
Anyway, back to your
back
journey.
to you. This is about you here.
No, it's no big deal. Yes, I got my first kit for my 9th birthday. Just taught myself to play and played by ear.
Of course he did, right?
Yeah. And
What were you listening to and copying?
a lot of 80s stuff, like Van Halen.
Yeah.
I feel like I was thinking about that. I think it was a lot of Alex Van Halen.
Great choice for a first
I was
influence.
just trying to play that stuff.
Was your parents musical? Did you have any influence?
Yeah, my mom plays piano. And my dad plays a little guitar. Both of my sisters sing, and my brother plays bass. But yeah, it's kind of a music thing. But my dad loved Van Halen and like a lot of that like 80s rock. So of course I'd love any of that, like even from Bon Jovi, Aerosmith, and but yes, I listened to a lot of that and was trying to play along with that stuff.
Love it.
And then by around 11, I started playing for like my local church, and it helped me grow better when you start playing with like other musicians with just timing and everything. So that was a great start.
That's a different kind of thing too, because when you're playing for a congregation like that, there's a different energy that you're bringing to the table for the most part. Sometimes it's like a full-on rock show, but for the most part, it's like, well, we're here to just get the people to sing the thing as loud as possible, which is it's a different kind of discipline.
Yeah.
I did the same thing. I was on a volunteer worship team for 14 or 15 years, something like that. So yeah, same boat. How long were you doing that?
Throughout my high school years. Yeah, I still do it even now. Like I'm on like some rotations with some churches, but
nice. Where at?
Rolling Hills.
Okay.
And there's a few others like on the west side.
Mm-hmm.
Still playing in church and stuff.
Love it, man.
Yeah.
Last time I played in church, guess would have been Church of the City, Antioch. They've got a Spanish language church,
nice.
and it's so I love playing there. I'm like for some reason it's even better in Spanish.
Yeah.
That's like I feel the same way about soccer. The announcements.
Oh, soccer's definitely better in Spanish.
Commentator, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're way more intense about it.
Oh,
Like, it's soccer over here. They're like, dude, it's freaking football. We'll kill you over it.
yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, it's always better with a little bit of that, passion. I don't know. All right, sorry, we should have warned you. I am derailer in chief.
It's all good, man.
So
You're getting better at it. I've watched your progression.
Yeah.
I've watched you grow since episode 1. So you're playing. Where'd you go through to college? From high school, you're playing.
Yeah, I didn't go to college.
Okay. Didn't mean to assume that.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I played sports in high school, and I wish I could do like drumline and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But with playing basketball and football, yeah, you kind of couldn't. So, well, at least for the schools I went to.
Yep.
But I did get to do an ensemble, like my senior year, like after it was like late spring, like toward the end of the year. I was able to do like an ensemble thing. So, got to do that in high school. Yeah, I was just playing in all kinds of different bands around the Springfield, Missouri area, and then I was playing with a group actually out of Cleveland. They were based in Nashville, and I was like their fill-in drummer for a while, and it was getting busy, so I like had to move to Nashville where they were. So I made the move to Nashville in 2015, and was playing with them and a few other groups. But then that's where I met Desmond. His assistant like reached out to me randomly, was wanting to start like a pop rock band, and he's like, "Hey, I work for Desmond Child. We're starting this project," and I was like, "Oh, like oh, that's cool." I was like, "Sounds like a scam." Like he's like, he's like all the stuff he's worked
So
on.
at what point in this conversation do I have to wire you money?
Yeah, exactly.
For his daughter's birthday party or something.
Yeah. I was like, okay, sounds like a scam, but they just wanted me to try out for this band he's putting together, and so I just kind of been doing that for a few years, and that's what we moved out to LA for and stuff.
So you said he randomly reached out to you, but okay, obviously it wasn't random per se. Do you know what the connection was there that this person found you through?
His assistant at the time, they were just looking for a certain age or drummer and just like some for the look.
Just found you online or
Yeah, just found me online. He didn't really say. They reached out, or his assistant was just like, he'd reached out to tons of drummers, and they were trying them out and all these interviews. Desmond was really particular with like just the look of the band, like a diverse band and stuff. And so it was just his assistant was just reaching out to tons of guys, and I feel like he probably came across something. Maybe we were playing around like downtown or something, but I don't know. It was just I get this email through my website on a contact page, and saying all that, and I was like, wow, this sounds like a scam. Like, but I kind of again like being uncomfortable, like took a risk. I was like, well, who like
And you're like, that's why I built this website.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that ended up being a pretty big gig, right? I mean, I'm not too familiar with that artist, but you guys have toured and
we did a lot of touring. Yeah, Desmond, he's a amazing songwriter, producer. Well, and he's written a lot of my favorite stuff, like Bon Jovi stuff, from Living on a Prayer to like Aerosmith and even Ricky Martin. But so it was that same style too that I really loved, and so when I found out, I was like, oh wow, he produced and wrote all these songs. I was like, these are all my favorite songs. Like this is this is perfect.
Kind of a dream gig.
Yeah, this is perfect.
And I'm sure that's why you were such a natural fit for it too. Well, like once you get actually in the door and like, oh yeah, you got the look. We want like give you a shot. Well, what are you into? Well, I'm into these exact things, and that will show. Well, great, because I wrote those. Yeah, that's right. Perfect.
Exactly.
I'm curious, 'cause I've seen some of your videos, and you're still pretty active on social media, would you say?
Yeah.
At that point, though, were you just doing covers, and do you think that had any contribution to hiring you? And
Yeah, I think I had like a couple videos out.
Just a couple,
And so,
okay.
yeah, it was, I think, yeah, just definitely the power of social media and just the online presence. You never know what people are going to come across. So I think it definitely, helped having a few videos up. Yeah, definitely.
It's hard for me, man. The whole social media thing, that whole game is very challenging for my mind and my patience. Like, I don't really fully understand how this thing functions. I have had multiple gigs that I acquired through Instagram and YouTube, all these different things.
Nice.
But
Yeah.
even that is still kind of a mystery to me. Like, I had somebody reach out and be like, "Hey, we saw the video of you covering a Muse song," and I was like, "How did you find that video?" And then another group reached out. This fusion band reached out to me, and they're like, "Hey, we found you." I had like posted a Jordan Peterson quote, and they're like, "Yeah, we dig that. That's cool." I'm like, "This is what? This is what? I don't
Internet's a weird
understand."
place. So
Yeah.
it's basically people just finding these random tidbits of your life,
Yeah.
digital artifacts, and picking up those things that fit into their narrative.
Yeah, and I don't know where I fit in that. I'm like, I know kind of on a technical level, I probably need to do it more. Like, I need to be on it. It's a thing. Everyone's using it now, but I don't really understand it,
I know,
if
yeah.
I'm being honest.
It
Yeah.
really is a game, like you said. We need to do like a separate topic on that, like a round table.
Yeah, well, you actually,
yeah.
you'd be a guy to ask, because obviously you're doing that for a living, partially.
Yeah, some respects, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. What is it? You do like the
I do a lot of the
social-
marketing for Pearl,
Oh,
like the band
nice.
orchestra side of things. And I'm pretty active myself, just as a
Yeah.
drummer here, trying to get more gigs and
Nice. Yeah, it's crazy.
trying
like
to, of course, balance the digital life of the digital version of myself, of just like going out and meeting people.
Digital Dan.
Digital Dan.
There you go.
Dude,
Yeah,
why did
that's
I never
awesome.
think of that until now?
It's
Yeah,
digital
it's not that
Dan.
clever.
It's
You know,
perfect.
two words ahead.
It's the best.
Okay.
No, it's the most clever, Dan. It's 2 D words.
Right.
Red light, look at it.
Yeah, it's crazy just the power of social media with just getting things out there. And it's, it's free, to use. You can pay to boost stuff, but yeah, it's like everyone's on it. It's crazy, yeah, how just powerful it can be.
Well, and after checking your socials out, I was like, oh, this guy's page is like, what, you're 67 some odd thousand people are following your page. So what advice do you have in having obviously grown your page so well?
Yeah, I don't really know, like, I don't have a blueprint on how to, like, grow it. I feel like just from momentum, like in past bands, it kind of grew over the years. Desmond, he got us to like open for like Bon Jovi and Aerosmith, and got us featured on Nickelodeon. So having those platforms, like, definitely helps.
Yes.
So it, you're generic, just be active on social media and just be consistent. I think consistency is huge. So
I ask because there are people with giant gigs who are very like publicly seen, whose social media presence is like they're on it, but it'll be a very small following. I'm like, so it's not just
Not a
having
direct correlation.
it's right, exactly. It's not 1-to-1. You're like, okay, just because you have this thing and you're in the public eye doesn't mean that a bunch of people are automatically going to follow you. It's just, it doesn't work like that. So that's why I asked the question. Anyway, yeah.
it's
Consistency on top of all of that stuff is,
Right.
I think,
Being
probably
authentic, too.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, this guy, if I know, we could learn all the tips and tricks.
So you mentioned some of those cool stadium gigs and Nickelodeon, but do you have like a most memorable gig with Desmond, or maybe like a weekend story you could share?
Man, well, there's two. I'd say the Nickelodeon one was really like unique. Me and some of the other band members were just like, we were getting ready to get on set, and we're like, wow, can you believe like we're gonna be on Nickelodeon? Like, how random is this? Like, how is this happening? But the deal with that, Desmond, he wrote like the theme song for the show, and so like,
Do you remember which show that was, or there's so many now?
yeah, it's a long title. I don't think it's on the air anymore. It's 100 Things to Do Before High School, or something like that.
Okay.
And in like a trade, he's like, hey, well, my artist, he's also an actor. Can you guys feature like the band and stuff? And so it was just kind of like a deal that, Desmond was able to, make happen.
Love
so,
Was that in L.A. or New York?
Yeah, it was in L.A.
Okay.
Yep. And yeah, that was my first time actually out in L.A. Yeah, so that one. The other one, we were getting ready to open for Bon Jovi like in a few nights, and Desmond's all big about just the band look, and like, you know, he's got like stylists, you know, like for each, you know, band member, because it's almost like characters, you know, like everyone's gonna play a part. And
Wow.
yeah, there's a lot that Desmond like really thinks like it's kind of it's
way
stuff
more
you
than
don't think
just
about.
the music.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he had a stylist there figure out like, you know, what everyone like, just how everyone was gonna be styled and whatnot. Because for one video that we did, Desmond was like, "Hey, I want you to have like a buzz cut." And I was like, I've never had like a buzz cut. Like I usually have my hair at a medium length.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, like if you think that'd look good for the music video, you know, it's nothing like inappropriate. So I was like,
Did you feel like you basically couldn't say no at that point?
yeah, I was like,
Just
hey,
whatever
buzz
the
cut,
artist
yeah.
asks, you know.
I had went back to like the haircut place like 3 times because I would tell them, and then they would, and I was also like, I was like, you know, don't cut off too much. And then like I would go back and Dustin's like, it's not short enough. And
my
so we had
gosh.
to,
Oh my God.
it took like 3 times for it. And then finally did like a 3-guard buzz. And I was like, this is the shortest my hair's ever been. And, but I guess every band member had like, you know, different look. So yeah, for that music video, I had a buzz cut. It doesn't even really look like me, but that was a funny story just with you know, very
Is that still
technical.
on- Can we find that? Is it on YouTube?
Yeah, it's on YouTube. Yeah.
We'll have to do that later.
Yeah, it's on my website
What
too.
song was
Cool.
that?
It's called Ruins. It's it's on my website. If you just there's some videos on there. Yeah, so the buzz cut situation. But so we're going to do like Bon Jovi. I always like to wear cutoffs, like when I'm drumming or practice and all that. I usually wear like band cutoffs, and so Desmond was like, he was watching us play and we were watching all the movements, like making sure like, you know, we were, you know, like into it. And he was like, hey, he's like, Landon, actually, what you're wearing, wear that for the show coming up. And I was like, are you sure? This is a Motley Crue shirt. Like, they're kind of like, you know, with Bon Jovi, like they've had some beef. I was like, are you sure? He's like, yeah, do it. He's like, do it just to piss off John and John Bon Jovi. I was like, I was like, I was like, are you sure? I was like, I don't want to do that to him. Like, I've never met the guy. Like, I don't want to like meet him and I'm wearing a Motley Crue shirt. And, he later, like, he was kind of joking. He's like, yeah, you should do it. It'd be hilarious. Like, yeah, let's just do it. It'll, you know, take him off. I was like, yeah, I don't know if I want to do that. But I later didn't. I just wore like a Bon Jovi cutoff.
Okay.
He did tell us some crazy stories though. Like after that, like when I was like, dude, are you sure? Like this is a Motley Crue shirt. He's like, with all their beef in the past, where because he would go to some of the Bon Jovi shows, and at the time, it was Bon Jovi that was opening, for Motley Crue. Desmond was at one of the shows, and he was like, yeah, the band almost got like into it, like backstage with each band with
Is that bad?
Yeah, I guess it wasn't for a little. There was a little part, I think, where there was a little bit of jealousy when both bands were kind of coming up. Like it was like over little things, like Tommy Lee being pissed because like, hey, Bon Jovi had more lights than we did. Like they had a lot more, you know. So there was a little like, you know, jealousy just from down to the lights and all that. So Desmond was telling us stories just about stuff that he'd seen. But yeah, it was just, you know, little things like that I thought were interesting.
Yeah, those are 2 good stories.
I really like those, like the real behind the scenes, like rock star stuff where you're like, hey, yeah, no, I was there and this is what was going on. Those are always my favorite story. The stuff you hear on documentaries and stuff, like, but whatever, that's cool too. But when you have someone who's like, no, I was hanging out with those guys, and this is what happened. This on this day, it was Tuesday, and this. They're like, oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Here's a picture.
Yeah.
It is wild. Yeah, that's like one thing with Desmond. Like, it's like I'm learning like every day, and just hearing all of his past stories. The dude's got like, you know, tons of stories, just a lot of the behind the scenes stuff that like is not out there.
Yeah.
And it's really cool hearing that. He does a lot of podcasts too. I was just thinking about that. I was like, yeah, I mean, it'd be cool if like, if Desmond, you know, did a little thing, but yeah.
You gotta get him on this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Corroborate your stories. Do you have any other businesses, either here in Nashville or you as an entrepreneur, like any other things, maybe not music related?
Yeah, I've got like a few different things.
Yeah.
A few different side projects. The other thing I have is Diamond Drumsticks.
Okay. I saw you were indoors. I didn't know it was you.
Yeah. So I only tell like close friends and family, and obviously you guys, and now the podcast. So
now the whole world.
Yeah, the whole world. So no, it's not really like a secret. It's just I just don't really care for the spotlight coming out. Like Yeah, I started that in 2013. Designed a few different types, and I kind of just simplified like the line. Like, you know how you got most brands got like 100 different pairs to choose from. I was like, I'll just kind of like simplify that into like 6. So they're unique specs, just for versatility. So just kind of.
Do you have different wood types? Is it pretty standard?
It's all just
hickory,
premium,
maple,
premium American hickory.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
None of this Back Bay.
Right.
Home Depot drumsticks. Back Bay. I'm talking shit.
Dude, check these out. These are, you ever heard Boso drumsticks?
Yeah.
These all bamboo.
Oh,
I don't know if they're still in business, but yeah, they're out in New Jersey. I forget how I got a pair of those. I think it was my old drum teacher from New York.
Nice.
But
yeah, those are
feel
cool.
good. I never play out with them, but they're good practice sticks because they're kind of heavy.
Oh yeah.
You know?
That's funny.
I don't
think this feels heavy to me.
This feels
relative.
I mean, what's your normal stick?
A
5A
usually.
Yeah,
Or 5. I don't know.
5B.
5B.
I would normally play with a 5A. To me, this is. It's not like massive, but
it's.
Honestly, it's weird because when I picked it up, at least they feel super light. I thought they were lighter than usual.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe I'm crazy. You own a stick.
Yeah, I feel like they're lighter than usual. I mean, my 5A are 16 1/4 inch length, and these are probably like your standard 16-inch.
But I do agree I love playing with them. I'll mess around on his set with them every time I do. I'm like, these feel really good.
Yeah, they do feel good.
They're pretty cool.
Yeah.
I have no idea how they'd stand up to like an actual gig, like a brutal onslaught that I put my drumsticks through. But
right. And that's what's cool about just all the brands. Like, there's so many cool like stick brands or just drum brands, like from small to large. That there's a lot of cool stuff out there.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the goal too. It's just why brands do expo events to get their brand out there for brand awareness and get new customers. Are like, wow, like I've discovered this new drum company, or you can see your favorite brands or discover new ones. So
I found this their new drum company. They're called like Ludwig. I don't know, but they're dope. Apparently, I think if you ask me, they're about to pop off. That's all I have to say about that. Yeah, they're talking about maybe making some drums that you can see through. I think that's an awesome idea.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Visionary.
Yeah. I don't know if I feel like if you just get them in the hands of the right drummer, famous brand
on national television, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Because you mentioned a few exhibitors that are already signed on for this year. Is there a lot more than last year?
Yeah, we got a few. Yeah, a lot more, and a lot of bigger brands too.
Pearl's going to be there.
Yeah.
You got the numbers ready. How many exhibitors do you have? I know you got it listed now.
It's going to be outdated, but yeah, it's only going to be higher, right?
Yeah. So this is good. We're at like a little over 80. We're at 80. So,
buddy.
Yeah.
How cool.
That's amazing. You got some bigger brands. I mean, it's no longer just like the Firehouse local.
Yeah. We had like a couple bigger name brands last year. But yeah, definitely this year it's a lot of bigger brands, even retail stores, a lot of drum shops, local drum shops. Guitar Center is a new one for this year, retail.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Plus it makes it like, for the bigger brands that maybe can't sell D2C, they want to have like Guitar Center there. They got their stuff. They just send them over there. If they want to buy stuff.
Yeah, just head on over.
Pearl will be right next with Zildjian and Guitar Center.
Yep.
So they wanted that spot right next to Guitar Center. So when they, their stuff's in there. So they've got just send people over to
Oh, that's the move. Yeah. Oh, you want to buy? Now's the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you holding? Yes. Holding cymbals? Yes, I am holding cymbals. Sorry, that was a drug buying joke for everybody who missed it.
Jeez. Do you have a memory of your first drum clinic or like drum event that you went to that stuck with you? And I'm sure that you hope like a lot of younger drummers that go to the Music City Drum Show and all these other events that you hope to inspire that same feeling, whatever that may be.
First or just a great experience that you
like, for example, when I went to PASIC for the first time a while ago, but I was just like, it was just one of those moments. It made everything feel so big. I felt so small. I was like, oh my God, like, even though the drum industry is pretty small relatively, but just like seeing the brand, seeing the people behind the brand, seing amazing drummers, the clinics in person.
Yeah.
We talked about this a few episodes ago about like, you can see anybody now on video, but like it's never going to replace in person clinics. And what that means.
It's funny. You've actually talked a fair amount through all these episodes about working with PASIC and all of that stuff, but you've never put it in that way before. I felt like you felt so small. That's a really interesting way of putting it.
I just thought of that.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, just with clinics too. There's so many stuff you can see on video. Yeah, when you see things in person or even meeting the guys, like, oh wow, like these guys, work with Pearl or, whatever brand. It's kind of cool to meet everyone in person. That magic feeling when you're there, present, instead of just watching it on video. It's pretty cool. Yeah, just seeing the drum clinics. Yeah, I'm excited to watch like Troy Laketta and Keo Stroud this year. Like we had some good clinics last year, and
it was Mike Dawson and
Near Z.
Oh, Near Z.
Yeah, Near Z.
Awesome.
Mike Dawson and another local guy, Brian Quick. He, they were awesome.
You mentioned just bringing the community together. The drumming community is such a special community. You probably experienced that more so than anybody. Just putting on this event.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, I'm excited for you for this year. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. It's really cool. Like even how tight the drum world is. Like it's really cool to see. Even other brands are like friends with other brands and
to
all
a
the
certain
drummers.
point.
Yeah, right. You're right. But yeah,
are there hated brands for you? Do you like, does Pearl?
Well, sure. I mean,
you don't have to name names.
Because I've only been at Pearl like 2 years now. I moved here 2 years ago during the pandemic.
Oh, nice.
And there was some beef with Yamaha, but there was actually, I think employees of each company couldn't be in the same room or like talk to. That's what I heard from. Yeah, just I don't need to get into it too much there, but
well, no wonder they rent their own complete building at NAMM.
Yeah, obviously the higher up you go and that kind of thing, you're gonna have some tension.
Yeah, anything that Well, we don't sell as many drums as you, but we also sell motorcycles, so so yeah.
We hope your brakes don't work.
Yeah. Oh, do you ever see that meme that was like, man, I really need to get a guitar.
I'm looking for a drum set, a piano, and a motorcycle. And Yamaha's like, well, you're not going to believe this. I have seen that.
In a snowmobile and a four-wheeler.
Yeah.
What else does Yamaha sell? I would like to find the most obscure Yamaha product.
There's a lot. Yeah.
Don't like their drums, but no, actually, I do. They've got fine drums. They've got fine drums.
We all make good stuff at the end of the day. Like we all realize that it's marketing and
I think the interest. Obviously, everyone knows that like Sabian and Zildjian are family, and they don't like each other. Like that's that. Yeah. But I wasn't aware of any other kind of like drum world.
I'm not aware of anything that's similar with family.
Yeah, that one's a gnarly one. Yeah. I'm like, wow, you guys really couldn't work it out, huh? Your family and you both make cymbals, and you couldn't just make it into one big thing with all those sounds. That would have been pretty cool.
400 years, you still couldn't figure it out.
Are you still mad?
Yeah.
Jeez. Might want to go see a therapist. I would actually love to. If I was at a company like that, it'd be like Hatfields and McCoys. I'd be like, you know what? Here's the thing. I know you don't feel the hate for these guys, but if you're gonna work here, I need you to hate Sabian.
Exactly.
I'm gonna need you to sign this paper saying that you will agree to hate them for the rest of your life.
You'll get a tattoo.
Yeah.
The artist is coming. Yeah.
Just like a B8, but like circled and crossed out.
Oh
like,
my gosh.
Yeah, this is...
Yeah, it's like Coke and Pepsi and like FedEx and UPS. Like I used to work at Coke, and it's weird when I was an account manager for Coca-Cola for like 3 years before I moved to Nashville. And it was a good job, like had great benefits. So it was like, tough to quit, at least for like my family. Like, you sure you want to pursue music? You have a really good job. And but when I had the opportunity to play full time, I was like, it's a no-brainer. And even my boss is like, yeah, like I salute you for doing this. Like you should definitely go after your, your dream. And but when I first started with Coke, you get that like, okay, I hate Pepsi, like the competitors, like, I mean now seeing them in the store, because I handled with like Walmart, and I do like the inventory, and so like everyone's cool like in person, but then it's like, when you walk by a display and it's like, dang it, how'd they get that display? And
wow.
That's so true. Yeah,
it's like. But like the guy's cool, like like we talk all the time, like you're friends. But it's like that.
Yeah, like you hate the brand.
Yeah,
you hate
it's just like
business,
it's the competitiveness of
like oh, you dog.
It's like what? How'd you get that? Like the stack base right there.
Oh, how did you get the Halloween display? Come on. You got the giant Pepsi Wolfman in the middle. Oh, dude.
Just like kick it over and peace out. Right?
Yeah, and I'm sure they do the same thing. Like 7-Up and Pepsi, they're like, what? How'd the Coke guy get like right here on Action Alley? What the heck? Yeah.
Love it.
So, I mean, you obviously have to play nice to all these brands for the drum show.
Right.
How has that been? I mean, like, you've had to wear many hats, right?
Yeah. I like, I mean, I have my drumstick company. But like anything
that's probably
else,
helped, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Just knowing where they come from. And
and like, there's like what I built with Diamond Star is more of like a community. And that's why I'm not really like outspoken that I like, run that, but it's cool to kind of keep it like a community of just all the drummers, with just other brands. Like I've just kind of been very, you got to love them all. And they're all really cool. So I can't really like, I mean, just for me, I'm sure, you can be endorsed and like, play, certain brands, but I try to be very flexible with everybody because I mean, respect everybody. I think they all got, a lot of cool, cymbals, kits, sticks. I mean, all kinds of stuff. So I enjoy seeing and discovering a lot of brands that I've never even heard of. So I kind of keep it open.
It's kind of what you were saying earlier. We all know we all make good stuff. There's a lot of good stuff out there to be discovered and to love, and you get the opportunity to be kind of front and center for a lot of that, just to be on display in your face. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's cool. Just just when people find their preference, because there's so many brands you can play, and just with anything, heads, sticks, cymbals. So it's kind of cool when a drummer gets to go to like an expo. You can just kind of be like, what do I like? Because everyone's different. So everyone's got their own preference. Yeah. So.
Do you ever see that? Do you follow Aaron Sterling at all?
Yes, I know.
Aaron's the man.
Yeah.
He is.
I love his comedy. Oh, his like reels or his story videos.
He's so funny. But he did this bit where he was like, well, here's the thing. I'll always play exactly whatever I want. He goes, I'll play whatever I want. Well, I always play, and he's like, I always use Remo drum heads. And of course, I use Istanbul Agop cymbals, and I use my Vic Firth sticks. But everything else, I play whatever I want. I'm like, you're like, so really, what you're saying is, you'll hit whatever drum with those things. Like, I got you.
Right.
Anyway, that's awesome. So you took me there.
And then it's the hardware too. It's like, well, what hardware?
Yeah, true.
You get so deep with it.
Yeah, what ring light are you using?
Now you probably both can speak to this. Like, there's definitely a trend of like all these newer like weird accessory companies, right? And drummers need like the like scrapped metal on their cymbals. It's almost like the less quality is the better. Like, we're making all this high quality stuff now, and we sit in meetings talking about innovation, but yet you go to like your local drum supplier, Nelson's, and it's like $2 towel or like the weird China ring or like the stacks.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not saying it's bad. It's just interesting. Like,
well, a thing that like simulates putting a wallet on this, like on your snare.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
It's kind of like a return to our tribal instincts as drummers. Like we just want to play and make sounds, and we'll use whatever we can find to do
Exactly. Yeah. There's all kinds of different sounds.
I think that also says like there's a reason not to overthink it too much.
Yeah.
Like, well, sometimes you just put a towel on your snare and like that solves the problem. Oh, that's the sound I needed. Great.
Exactly. Yeah.
But sometimes you need to go out and buy the big fat snare drum with the freaking little tambourine nodules on there, and that's the sound.
Who are some of your favorite drummers or your influences?
Thomas Lang, Alex Van Halen.
Yeah, okay, the big time leaders.
I also like Tommy Lee, Travis Barker.
Yeah.
20 Roaster Jr.
Carmine Apiece.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
seems like that'd be an
Hold
influence of
on.
yours.
You're into Travis. I have everybody who's a Travis fan. I have to ask:
Oh man.
So am I.
Are you into the Aquabats?
I know about them. I couldn't tell you a song.
My
Yeah,
guy,
sorry.
go if you love Travis. This is Travis at his best. Is on the Fury of the Aquabats. Go listen to a song called Captain Hampton.
Okay.
It's a stupid song, but Travis rips on that song. He's doing these crazy cymbal hits and chokes. Love it. That's my favorite version of Travis Barker is
Nice.
Aquabats.
Yes.
Travis.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's cool. All the projects he's been involved with. There's a lot of cool. Some of the smaller stuff that not many people have heard of. It's like, man, it's cool.
Lang, Travis, Tony Royster. You said anybody else on that? Was that pretty?
Yeah, your basics.
Yeah. The guys who are the
guys.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
It's very similar. I really love Todd Zuckerman's playing.
Oh
knew you guys
yeah.
said
I'm definitely. I consider
probably
myself like a
met him.
technical. Have I met him? I
like
did
Pearl,
a while ago.
I was gonna say if you haven't,
He's like our
you need to like do
biggest
that.
artist
Right.
still. I mean,
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
For me, it's Virgil Donati, Benny Greb,
Oh yeah.
Mason Guidry, and probably Nate Wood and Mark Giuliana.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's so many good ones.
And Lewis Cole. So sick.
You know
But I love
Larnell
him.
Lewis from Snarky Puppy
Of course.
Yep.
Larnell is a freak.
and Sput, C-Right, of course.
Yeah.
Well, dude, it's so good to meet you and learn about your story. And just quick, give the people those links again about the drum show and where they can buy tickets.
Yeah. The website is musiccitydrumshow.com. Buy tickets on there, 2-day passes or Saturday or Sunday only passes. And also the exclusive promo code you can apply NDP, all lowercase. Yeah, just those 3 letters.
Did you hear the fist bump, everybody? That was our first official.
Yeah.
What would you call that? What would you
Promo code?
Yeah, our first promo code.
Promotion, yeah, discount
Yeah,
code.
10% off. Yeah.
Love it. Thanks so much for setting that up.
Yeah.
If you just walked in here and told us that, we didn't even talk about that ahead of time.
Yeah. Thanks, guys, for having me on the show. Of
course.
Dude, thank you so much for being here. This is really fun.
It was great meeting you guys, and I hope to see you at this year or future drum shows.
You will.
It'll be cool.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Nashville Drummers Podcast. If you liked it, please consider leaving us a review on the Apple Podcast app.
Definitely check us out on Instagram. You can follow us at Nashville Drummers Podcast.
If you're interested in being on the podcast, go ahead and send a message to either Dan or myself, or you can send it directly to the Nashville Drummers page on Instagram, and we will talk to you and review your case, and we'll judge you harshly. Just kidding.
It's ruined.